Shemai Elite Dangerous Chums. The Vanguards DLC has been released today, and this is the latest content in Elite Dangerous, and it's basically an update of the Squadrons work that exists already. But one of the biggest things to feature in this update is, of course, the Vanguard's Squadron Carrier, which you can see in front of you right now. So we're going to land on this mammoth carrier. It's twice as big, at least, as a normal carrier, and this is one of the perks of being in a squadron. You can access this carrier. So we're going to have a look around the carrier in the second portion of the video, but first we're going to talk a little bit about the Vanguard's DLC and what it has to offer to players out there and what it's supposed to do, and what it hopefully does well. So let's get down below and I'll show you the where to find your squadrons. So I've just joined this squadron here, and you just click on the squadron tab, and first off you won't have any squadron accessible, so you'll have two options. You can choose to start your own squadron, which will only cost 10 million, but it will only have you in it, obviously. You will have every option to customize it to the max. Whereas if you just join as a standard player as part of a squadron, you don't have any options until you get given the permission by the leader. So how do you find a squadron? Well, let's use the browser to find it and see what we can find. So if we, I'd search by power play, and if we search for, let's look at Duval just for the crack. And see, yeah, look at that, there's millions of them. So you can choose your power play. We're not in Duval, of course we're not. So let's choose Pratnav Antal, and 0. Why is there no Pratnav Antal? So let's have a look at the activities. You want some power play supporters? No, you want traders and miners? I don't know. Traders and miners, you've got these ones here, the Finn Vale, one person in that squadron. One person in that. If you've got anyone who's got lots of people, we've got 2 people in those squadrons. I imagine there's going to be a lot of squadrons generating right now. Maybe we should sort by members descending. So just to give you an idea of squadrons that are live and not just single squadrons or dead squadrons. So this might be a good one, I'm not sure. But I've got friends in that squadron, so it must be a good squadron. So we could choose to join that squadron via clicking the button apply for this squadron, which we are not going to do. We've just joined one. But you've got languages, German, time zones, that kind of things. Tells you what kind of time that they play. Their origin system is Shin Des, the Dark Wheels, a minor faction, superpower none. Power is Aisling Duval, so you need to probably take that into account if you are deep into power play, as in if you're level 100 odd like I am, where you don't want to join in a power that is not the same as yours ultimately, which I probably have just done, but I'll probably join another power when some Pratnavs start off. So let's look at what else we get offered from joining it. What's the other perk of joining a squadron? Well, you get mission rewards. So the primary perk here is increased mining fragment yield. Now, and the power is Aisling Duval. No, bejesus. Yeah, that's okay. We can hang out with these people. They probably won't shoot me that much. The faction perk is increased mission rewards. So when you go mining, you'll get a bit of extra fragments, oddly enough, which I don't get how that works. Does not make sense in the world of physics, but it does in the world of squadrons. So you'll make more money mining by being part of this particular squadron. They've got 23 members, ranks and permissions. You can look at this squadron bank as well. You've got 1.8 billion in the bank. You can make deposits. So it's a shared storage repository. All squadrons can deposit and withdraw credits, so we can withdraw our deposits however much we want to. It's a shared resource, but your access is going to be limited. I don't think you can just come in and rob it blind if that's what you wanted to do. For example, if you're a nefarious character. But what can we add? We could add some money. We can do a direct transfer of some credits to, or we can transfer to commanders. So Captain Glass, we can give them a bit of money. We can give Adam a bit of money. We can give G147 a bit of money. So there we go. Let's give him a bit of cash. What have we got? I don't have a clue. Oh, this is from my personal balance. Oh, there we go. Deposit. So I've given them a bit of money just for the crack. ships. So we can access any stored ships, and we can deposit a ship in here as well. So this is where you get to share ships with your chums. I don't currently have one. We've got the Russ Abbott, which is a combat vessel. Now I can deposit this one. I'll deposit it in the bank maybe. I'm not sure I want to because it's such a good ship, but it is a good ship actually. It's a good build. I want to use it first, so we could do that. I've not tested this ship yet, so I'm not going to deposit it for that reason, not because I'm tight-fisted. But the only reason I can deposit it, bear in mind, is because it's a standard ship. Now it's got A-rated modules that are essential, and it also does not have any Guardian tech, and it's obviously a ship that everyone can access. That's the important thing, to share it with other commanders. Those commanders need to be able to access the ship as standard. So if you haven't bought the, for example, Panther Clipper Mark II for credits, for ARCs, then if somebody shares the ship with this depository, you cannot access it because you can only access ships that you can access in-game. But obviously, if you don't have the credits to be able to afford the ship, you can try before you buy, which is very good for the small and medium level ships, I think, that don't need heavy or any engineering really. So that's a very good choice, I think. But all the similar costs occur, such as, let's just we've got delicate flower. What we're going to get in? Yeah, we can do the standard stuff as well, so we can get our ships over here. Tiny rampage, we don't want that. We do want our other ship to come over here though, but I'm not going to mess with that. But you can manage your ships. You can purchase ships when that is available as well. Personal assets, we don't have any stored here. Commodities and all that kind of business. Credits, let's deposit some more credits. So direct transfer, no, let's just deposit credits to all. Let's just see what we can deposit. So just for that, thanks for allowing me to make this video. I'll deposit a few million. There you go. Thank you very much. So we deposit. Yeah, I know it's Aisling Duval, but you know they've allowed me to make this video. Well, they haven't. I haven't asked them permission, which is a bit wrong. But hopefully they'll be fine when I do a little bit of work for them. Overview. So this gives us all the kind of, I suppose it's the assets and stuff, commodities and ships that are available. So it's showing you inventories and it's showing you available space. Now, I didn't talk about the kind of costs of these things as well, so I will talk about that in a minute. So we've got the ships that we can deposit there. That's pretty decent. That's quite good. Ranks and permissions. So I'm a rookie. You've got the different officers and there's a leader there. So if you notice a leader, if you look at what they have access to, they can access everything basically. The bank, the transfers of the cash, which you want. You don't want to give everyone access to that. Whereas a rookie does not get access to everything. They can just read the message chat, view squadron chat, invite commanders to apply, view bank transactions log, view the bank, but they can't do anything with regards to the money to take the cash out, which is quite sensible until you can trust these people, because it could be any dodgy Herbert tosser, who knows. So that's really good. I like that. I think it's a good design. You've got, as well as that, you've got applications, so we can view applications there, but there isn't on at the moment. Leaderboards, and this is an interesting one. This shows you the leaderboards of the squadrons. So you can see if you've got Xeno Defense, these are the best contributors. Candlelight Vigilant, 75 members at 160 billion or whatever. Bounty hunting, you can see who's best at that. CQC, you can see the ranks and who's the best at trading, so you can see how competitive the other people are. So I think that's quite interesting, and it's a good way of tracking your progress. So it's similar to the power play kind of progress tracking as well. What else can we have? So we got Squadron Bank, we've got applications, we also have factions and all that stuff. We can chat as well, so open the chat, you can see the chat is there. You can chat away, and you can create a post as well if you want a bulleting. Let's look at the squadron feed. Let's cancel that squadron feed. Anything in there? So I've left that squadron. I've joined this squadron. We've got a carrier jump. You can see that there's been some services installed on this carrier. So this is the carrier. Now let's talk about the carrier. This is what you perhaps watch this video for. You go to Squadron Carrier. Now a squadron carrier, so to found a squadron will cost you 10 million, but to buy a squadron carrier will cost you 5 times as much as a normal carrier. 25 billion. Now, the first off, the upkeep when you start off with the carrier is 12 million per week. That is cheap. Mine is 14 million. Mine only has a bartender and a closed down universal cartographics and Vista Genomics. But a standard carrier is cheaper upkeep, which it should be. But in my mind, it should be twice as. I mean, is it twice as much? Maybe that's twice as much, but it's really nothing for the capacity you get. You get 60,000 units. Now, a standard carrier will give you 25,000 units, and this is the kind of disturbing the elephant in the room here. That for colonization, this is going to be critical to some people. It's going to certainly make things more efficient. It will cost you more tritium per jump. I don't know exactly what that is. So we've got 1,000 units of standard tritium reserves, but I hope it costs more tritium to jump. Maybe it doesn't. But let's have a look at that. It should do. It's twice as big. Now you've got hull maintenance. Now this is twice as much, 200,000 rather than 100,000 per jump. So I imagine the tritium should cost twice as much. So why has it not got twice as much capacity for tritium? Don't know. But yeah, I suppose you can store tritium as standard, can't you, on the carrier? And the carrier's got 60,000. It's got loads of space for tritium. I kind of wish I had this carrier rather than the standard carrier, but I'm not going to decommission my carrier immediately. I'm not going to found my own squadron. These guys seem like really good guys. I do want to contribute and help them out though, because they seem like nice people. I watched their streams, so that's why I joined essentially. So Squadron Bank and that kind of business, shipyard stock, outfitting stock. But that's the carrier costs. So the carrier itself, let's have a little look at the carrier to see what it looks like. And we can talk a little bit about that. So it gives you, so as a new player, it does help you because it gives you a bit of a jump start without having to pay for it. Because you can borrow one of your Squadron chums' ships and you get, I don't know how the rebuy works. I imagine the rebuy you still have to pay for. You certainly still have to pay for the cost of moving it around the system and all the jumps and everything else that involves. So it's not like it's free for everything. But it is decent if you can't afford the ship though. So it can help you. I'd imagine for combat, that's where it's going to be most essential. And the other thing is as well, it's going to allow experienced commanders to lend them a ship that is more adequate, that's been built out for a beginner. So it's very good for mentoring new commanders, and that's what this game really needs. So I really hope that Squadrons now will do that for new commanders and help them learn the game. Look at that, that's a nice little SLF there. You can also purchase the ships from here if you have the access from this board if you want to. So I like what I see. I'm a bit disturbed by how easy it is to get a carrier, and the cost of the upkeep doesn't seem enough to me to warrant the Squadrons, because it is well cheap for what you're getting. So I can fly my own ship in, get the Gavin Davey over here. That's a famous Welsh comedian that many people will remember from back in the day, from the club scene. Let's go next to, we want to go to the bridge, don't we? So command deck is here. And it's all exactly the same. So this is all copy and paste job from the original carriers. And if we go upstairs, we can see it's all pretty much the same. I don't go up here enough to remember if it is exactly the same. Something looks a little bit different to me. I'll show you it though. I'll show you it so you can decide for yourself. I should have looked around my own carrier first. So first off, you've got the command seat. If you have access, you can sit in that if you're the leader. But I'm not the supreme leader. You have this little ready room here. You've got a nice little bench here where you can sit and plan stuff and have a mug of tea. You've also got the tea/coffee machine. I don't know which one's tea and which one's coffee out of those spouts. Make sure you get it right. Got pot noodles on the left hand side as well if you want a pot noodle coming out of that one. But here's the ready room. So this is a briefing room. You can sit at the back where all the cool kids sit. I should sit at the front really. I'm a high enough rank to sit at the front. But I rarely do. I like to mix it up. I do sit at the front sometimes, but not all the time. Especially I like it when the supreme leader's there, because I think it's hilarious to sit next to the supreme leader. But also you got this nice window. I do like the cabins here. Now these are the ship interiors that people kind of want. This is the carrier ship interior. This is the style of what people want, but smaller, don't they? But I think you've got it on the carrier. So for people who want ship interiors, who haven't explored this, then do look at it because it is very good for what it offers. But this is what's available also on the standard carrier as well. I'm going to show you one final thing on the carrier to finish the video. But I suspect, cringingly, the price of 24 billion is expensive, but to buy this carrier, but not expensive enough. The Vanguard war made people absolutely billions, especially those that did the Spire sites. Farmed the Spire sites, you easily made 20 billion. You had double credits as well back then. If we go to the jump cabin rather than the hangar, I'll show you a little kinky room we've got upstairs to finish the video off. So what are your thoughts on the new Squadrons now? It's the same as the old Squadrons, but with a bit of an update, eh? This is the cinema room. It's another jump cabin that if you run out of space with the other jump seats that you have in there, you can go in this kind of room. Now when I was at university, and if you couldn't get in the main lecture theatre, which was massive, you had to go into this was when you hung over. You come in here and you'd sit down and you just put your head, you have tables in front of you, you'd just go to sleep and you'd be trying to watch this video of some guy, some professor trying to talk nonsense about whatever. But yeah, that's what this room reminds me of, especially as it's dark as well. It's going to send me to sleep, especially during the carrier jump while you're waiting for it. So what are your thoughts on it? Drop it down below. If you've got any additions to what I've said here, any corrections, any additions, any of your experience, have you started your own squadron just for the purpose of buying a carrier? I'm not going to slag you off for it. I don't think there's anything wrong, but I am disturbed about the fact that people will be buying more carriers. Some people are talking about buying 2 carriers and filling up. I think there's enough carriers in system. I hope they put more carrier slots just to deal with that. But it shouldn't be that bad in theory, but there's going to be a surprisingly lot amount of people that can afford this solo. I'm telling you that now. Because the system I was in, they already had 2 of these carriers, and that's within like a couple of hours of this thing launching. Thanks very much for watching though, and have a most excellent day if you are playing Elite Danger A. Have a good one everyone.